Morning and welcome to day 19 of my Veganuary experience. Hope you're all well and your weekend's going really well. There's a bit of a delay in videos making it up onto YouTube. That's because of the slightly complicated nature in which I have to upload and download these videos from my phone to my laptop to YouTube. So it's taken a little bit longer, and we've had some problems with our internet running a little bit slowly at times. So that's compounded the problem. So sorry if you were keen to see the videos and you're finding there's a bit of a lag. However, continue to make them. We've had a busy weekend. As I said yesterday, I had a bit of a fail with my blood test kit, so I need to sort that out on Monday. Other than that, nothing really to report, other than I think I probably need to have a look at the amount of roughage in my diet. Mainly to do with the consistency of my poos. I've spoken about this before and it's been fine up till now, but I've noticed that they're less solid than they were, and I suspect that is definitely as a result of my plant-based diet. So I need to have a look at that today and see if we can do something about that. Other than that, nothing much to report really. I think my wife's hoping to make a Goan curry out of spice kits that we got off my niece. And I suspect she'll end up making a big pan of that. So that'll be eat up this week, which is great. That sounds fantastic. I'm probably away from home on Wednesday night. I've got to go down south to do something on Thursday. So I've got to confirm it with colleagues, but I suspect I'll probably be away Wednesday night. So I'm not quite sure where I'm going to end up staying. So be interesting to see what vegan food is available wherever I end up at, etc. So that should be quite interesting. Other than that, not much really to report. Other than over Christmas, I ended up having a conversation with a relative of mine. We're all probably about the same age, in our early 50s, and I guess we're all starting to just think about our health and our diet. Certainly, given concerns over type 2 diabetes, being slightly overweight, and just the thoughts that we probably need to do something now about our health so that we can enjoy the next 20, 30, 40 years in really good health, and there's probably no reason why we can't do that. And as a result of that, this relative of mine has really started to take an interest in plant-based diet. Now, not saying for 1 minute that he's going to convert to become a vegan, but certainly he's watched Game Changers, which for those folks who haven't seen it, is an interesting film by James Cameron, I think it is. I think I've got that right. That talks about plant-based diet and puts forward lots of very interesting evidence. I understand that some of the evidence in that film has subsequently been disputed by others. Haven't really investigated the truth on either side really, but nonetheless it does put some interesting arguments forward, and also more interestingly includes some quite high profile people who've taken to a plant-based diet. And, you know, as with all of these things, these are people who probably can have the money to choose exactly what it is they want to do with their lives, and for them to make a decision to go for a plant-based diet is really quite an interesting one, really. So anyway, it's relative watch Game Changers. I think he's got a lot from that. Again, he's the kind of guy who would question lots and lots of things healthily. He would, and I think that's the whole point of what I'm saying in these videos is um, it's good to question things, just question things and find out for yourself, make your own decisions. And I think he's watched some of the videos by the Bosch guys as well, and so he's clearly thinks that there's something in plant-based diet. So that's really interesting that he's ended up going down that route. And I have to say, I'd have never thought that in a million years. So this is why I think this whole vegan plant-based diet thing is there's something more going on here. And if it just ends up in people having a greater awareness of the foods they're eating and the impact that they might have on their health, then that's got to be a good thing, even if it doesn't necessarily mean they go completely plant-based or completely vegan, and those two are slightly separate definitions. Then it's got to be a good thing for people's health, etc. Now, understanding amongst all of this that there's arguments about, well, can the world's food production system cope with everybody going plant-based, etc. And again, there seems to be arguments on both sides. I'm not expert enough to know what the answers are there, but would that stop me from making the decision to either go entirely plant-based or largely plant-based diet? I guess the answer would be no. Clearly, if this took off and billions of people around the world decided to go down this route, then clearly that would need thorough investigation. And as with all of these things, I suspect evidence on both sides is set up to prove or disprove certain theories. And as with most of these things, it takes a while before the evidence base settles down and some clear evidence, one way or the other, starts to come out. That's just historically how evidence worked in the early days. There's often lots of arguments and each side disputing the arguments the other puts forward until such time as the disputing settles down and one side's evidence gains greater credibility and then becomes acceptable. I guess we've seen that a lot with climate change, and I guess probably winding the clock back further, things like the effect of smoking on people's health and things like that. So, that's a typical pattern in terms of evidence. So it'd be interesting to see how all that pans out. But it's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing, and probably not going to stop a lot of people. You can't think about the massive picture and get that to cause you to not do something. Disputes of evidence wouldn't put me off at the moment, but definitely something that I'd be very interested in keeping an eye on. Okay, other than that, nothing much to report, other than the roughish thing, and we shall speak to you tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. Cheers.